Hi, y'all. Chatty Cathy here. So, this is our first podcast for our skincare. Like I said, there's going to be 5 of them. And today we're going to talk about as you get older, our environment, a little bit of A and P. Okay, some protection for our skin. Say thank you so much for loving me, for sharing, for giving me feedback. I so much appreciate everything. Appreciate the subscribes and all the beautiful stories of guess what I'm doing now. I feel so much better. That just fills my heart with so much love. I'm also going to be starting Chatty Cathy short spats pretty soon, where I just speak my mind, don't I always? And so you can open up yours. Just a little bit shorter things about the things that I'm thinking about. So many things that we can talk about, okay? Well, it's all about love, I promise. One thing I do need to change when we talked about our circulatory systems a couple months ago last year, and the lymph system, which is our sewer pipes, is part of that circulatory system. I didn't realize actually how many times that you should be dry brushing your skin and working on that lymph circulation. And while I was doing the skincare podcast, I was like, oh my gosh, I told people I think maybe once a week, maybe once a month. Oh, no. It should be every day if you have to. And it's like I said, I've been doing these skincare, learning about the skin for the past several months. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I got to make sure that I tell you guys. So remember, before you take a shower, you do dry scrubs with a very, very soft brush towards your main lymph nodes. And those are underneath your arms. There's some here, there's some in your abdomen. You can look online. She's a cancer rehab physical therapist, and she talks a lot about and shows you how to do lymph massage. Absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is, it has to be several times a week and sometimes several times a day. And all it does is basically increase the circulation in one of your circulatory systems, which is your lymph system, your septic tube. Huge elimination systems. If you want anything to work in your body, that system has to work. And that's one of the very first ones that get clogged up, okay? And you can do every area in your body except for your face. Be careful of up here because it's really sensitive too. You don't want to do your nipples and you don't want to do your private parts, okay? But you need to do this to get this elimination tube working better. And it has to work great before you can start detoxing and before you can be healthier, right? Okay. And like I said, if you're sick or you feel clogged up, your ears feel clogged up, that task should happen several times a day. And let me tell you, it is so, so easy. I apologize from the bottom of my heart many, many times that I did not get that right, but I'm telling you now, okay? So I've also increased my brushing now, okay? And I've added a little bit more lymph massage. I watched her several times and some other ones to get that elimination system going, to make more room for health, right? Well, we learn as we go. I'm sorry. And I've changed a lot of things too, okay? So as far as what I've taught you over the past year, what have you been doing? What is different, right? By now your inflammation should be decreased. Your gut, your microbiome, your newfounded organ system. Remember that one? Hug your organ system, hug your microbiome. That should be balanced, okay? Your bowel movements should be a couple times a day. Eat your food, use it, and get rid of it. You don't want to store it for the most part. Your water should be refreshing. It should be cleansing. It should not be retaining. It should not have extra minerals in it, right? It shouldn't have extra salt in it. You shouldn't be trying to change the pH of your stomach. It has to be that way, okay? And your abs should be tight from laughing, right? And your mind should only be speaking positive things. Only speak positive. Because even setbacks are positive, right? Because it's not going to stay that way. It's going to end up positive and better for you every single time if you let it. So, how far have you come? It's been over a year, right? Today, we're going to talk about our faces. What story do you tell the world? How old are you? You don't have to tell me. You can if you want to. I'm 56. How old do you look? Do you think you can change it around? Do you think you can change it to look younger? Absolutely, yes, you can. That's what I'm going to show you, right? Do you think that the stuff that you put on the top of your skin, and sometimes it goes a little bit deeper into the other layers of skin because our skin's layers are very, very thin, are they helping you achieve your beauty goals? Remember, it's for you, nobody else, okay? answer those questions. Put it below. And then after these 5 casts are done, then we'll answer those questions again, right? So let's talk about skincare. There's 5 skincare products, like I told you, and then one on our hair, okay? And today we're going to talk about the anatomy and physiology. Anatomy and physiology. What's best for our skin? How do you protect your skin from the environment? How do you protect your skin from emotions and hormones? And yes, you can, okay? Most skincare products that we use just get to the surface of the problem, just like medications, okay? The surface of the problem is the epidermis. And like I said, sometimes it'll get to the dermis, and we'll talk about that in a second. Just like medicine, it takes care of the signs and symptoms, and it takes care of the side effects of the disease or of the aging in this case, right? And it does it instead of getting to the core of the problem. What's causing all this? What's going to keep causing it no matter what you do until you change some things, okay? Some of the things that we do for our skin, I'm just letting you know way ahead of time in the very first podcast, these actions are short-lived Band-Aid, and you don't want to rip it off fast. Our beautiful skin, our beautiful skin. Do you want to be more radiant? Do you want to be more vibrant and have younger looking skin? Okay. There are practices that I'm going to teach you, and there's routines that's going to make these things last longer. Okay. And I've already told you some of them, and some of them you can guess, but do you do them? Some of them you already know. Do you do them? And this is the simplest thing to do, and it will get things going. You have to smile. You have to smile at yourself, even a fake smile. Your subconscious does not know the difference. It will put you in a better mood. Smile. You have to talk good to yourself. You have to talk good about other people too, no matter what you think. If it's that bad, get away. You have to eliminate crap in your body and in your life so you can make room for health and happiness. You have to boost all of your immune systems, and we'll talk about that soon, okay? And you have to open up all your elimination systems. We'll have a whole podcast on elimination systems in our immune system too, okay? You have to start from the inside out for quicker results. And then if you want to do stuff on the outside in, do it simultaneously. You have to. Louise Hayes is an author that I read, okay? She suggests that our skin represents our individuality. Absolutely. If we feel that our individuality is being threatened somehow, you're going to show it in your appearance, right? The quickest way to heal skin problems is to nurture yourself, starting with your mind. Just by saying, I approve of myself. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Shut the front door. Just by saying, I approve of myself, just the way that I am. I am strong. Yes, I am a goddess. I am a god. Because why? I'm the most important judge. That's why. Because you are the most important judge. That's why. And you're not alone. Even if you don't think that you have people and angels around you, you do. You are surrounded all the time, and they are there for you only. You are the most important person. You are the most important judge. Okay? And if you do all this stuff gracefully and you do it healthily, is that a word? Healthily? Yes. If you do it healthily, your skin's going to show it. I make up words on this podcast too, absolutely. Or the opposite end. If you don't believe that aging can be beautiful and graceful, and you think it's going to happen anyway, it's going to be all negative, guess what? It's going to. It's a natural process. Aging is common to everything that's alive, everything that's organic. It's going to happen anyway. So how are you going to cope with it? Flowing with love and happiness all around you, or fighting and being negative and aging and showing it faster? You need to believe that aging is beautiful, because it is. And so are you. Yes, you are. And so am I. Yes, I am. Right? For me, and these are just my thoughts, aging really has nothing to do with looking old. Okay? This is what we're told. Yes, there's side effects when it happens. Okay? You get the wear and tear on our physical body. Okay? But as far as looking younger, if you keep the inside of your body working great, which starts with a positive outlook. You can look young for as long as you want to. Yes, you can. And physically, if you keep your body functioning well, then cha-ching, hello. Yes, you can. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to the insurance companies. Don't. As far as aging, to me, acting more mature is not acting mature. Yes, I play and laugh all the time. Aging to me means gaining and using and sharing all the good knowledge that I've learned throughout my lifetime, okay? Sharing it with younger people, sharing with older people who didn't get it yet, right? To me, that's acting mature, okay? Sharing with younger lives, okay? Aging actually gives you this opportunity to share more love, to see more good in everything, and to help more people, okay? And I think the older that we get, and I believe this is a responsibility for every person on this earth, because the earth does it, you need to leave the earth cleaner. You need to leave the earth more abundant for the generations to follow. You don't know how many times I see somebody throw their cigarette butt out the window. And I'm like, you deserve to have 4 cold, old, filled up ashtrays dumped on your back floor of your car. Every time you throw something out, all of a sudden, look at the floor, shut the front door. Sometimes I wish I was a witch. Actually, no. It would be fun, wouldn't it? They would. I wonder how many times it would take them to get it. Our faces are the center of our universe. Your face is the initial contact, usually when you interact with somebody, and your skin and your smile get an immediate nonverbal communication to everybody. And that's over 65% of communication is nonverbal. So your face, what kind of story are you telling people as you see them on the street, as you work with them, as you see them in your community? Remember what I said earlier, only about from yesterday's podcast, only about 10% of the aging process is from genetics. So where do the rest of the signs and symptoms come from? What did I say? It's from our environment. Actually, I put it out yesterday. Yeah, it's from our environment, okay? And our lifestyles. That's where the signs of aging show, okay? It shows up here, but what's happening on the inside of your body, okay? All this means is you also need some kind of control in parts of your life to make it better. The people, the places, the fuel, and your situations. Change some things. It's so easy, especially if you say it's easy, okay? I believe that when we talk about the different colors of skin, we should definitely have that adjective of glowing before it, warm and friendly and healthy. My skin glows with vitality, with life, because with my skin, I help it not only from the outside in, which is temporary, I also help it from the inside out. Okay. And I'll be teaching you that throughout these 5 podcasts. You're going to be so excited to hear all this stuff. I was so excited to learn a lot more about our skin. Okay. Everyone knows that the skin is the largest organ, right? It weighs about 6 pounds. It stretches over 18 to 22 square feet. It is expandable. You can fold it. It's fragile, yet it's very, very tough. Okay. Healthy skin is about 20% water. And water is the main source of your skin's moistness, not all the lotion that you put on. And we'll talk about how you actually put your lotion on too in I think the 5th podcast. Okay, our skin goes so much for us, right? Besides being the largest organ, that also means it is the largest detoxifying organ, right? It's part of our immune system, right? Our cover up is also the first line of defense against crap from your environment, right? What are the other lines of defense that we have? Our immune system, our digestive system, 2 entrances, 2 exits. Respiratory system, right? Breathe in, breathe out. You also not just breathing out gases and stuff, you're getting rid of other things too. Our tears is actually an immune system and an elimination system. Our lymph system is an immune system and elimination system. Our skin is an immune system and an elimination system, a little both, right? Okay. And our white blood cells the things that fight infection once something gets into our skin, that's a huge part of our immune system. So there's many parts of the immune system. And yes, I will have a podcast on our immune systems, all right? And our elimination systems. Absolutely, I'll do that. Our integumentary system regulates the water, and it also regulates our temperature, right? Our skin actually holds our hair and our fingernails in place and our toenails in place. Our skin blocks some of the radiation from the sun. And our skin also absorbs vitamin D from the sun. And we'll talk about that in suntans and scars. That's going to be, I think, the third or fourth podcast. Okay. Also, very important that a skin absorbs oxygen from the air too. And it uses the oxygen that we get from our blood vessels. Oh my goodness. We can absorb it from everywhere, right? The skin helps us fight against infectious pathogens. We are constantly growing and we are constantly shedding our skin cells, and we start from the bottom up, okay? Your skin is always trying to repair itself over and over and over again. This cycle is going to last about 28 days. When a normal skin cell renews itself, it takes about a month to mature, okay? And this is the reason that I say that working on your skin only from the outside in is temporary, because we keep on growing. We keep on aging. So every single day, every single second, your skin works for you. What do you do for your skin? Comment below, text me, absolutely. So there's 3 layers of skin, and all the layers of skin are very, very important. The layers of our skin are very, very, very thin, less than 1/10 of an inch, right? The epidermis is the part that you see. That's right on top, and that has several layers to it, okay? Can you say it's the most important one? It's the most important one from the outside in, right? They're all very, very important. It has about 5 layers to it, okay? And these are the layers that actually get flaked away, right? They get flaked away daily, secondly, when you give a bath, when you rub up against something, when you put your clothes on, when you put lotion on. These are the layers that get flaked away, okay? Some of the cells on our skin, actually most of the cells on our skin, are keratinized cells. This protects us. Keratin is sulfur rich, and it comes from the dermis, which is the second layer. This keratin prevents water loss, which means it helps our skin be a little bit waterproof, right? But remember, it makes it semi-permeable. Our skin is semi-permeable, which means some things can get in. But the top layer of our skin and the keratin protect us from our environment. And it keeps our moisture in, right? Okay. The next layer is the dermis. This is our second layer. It's a little bit thicker. This is where your blood vessels are. This is where your nerve endings are, and you have oil and sebaceous glands, okay? This is where your hair follicles are, okay? The dermis is also another barrier, another safeguard from our environment, okay? And then you have the last layers of our skin, the hypodermis. It's also called fat, which I do not like that word. I don't know. I just don't like fat. It's just, I don't know, too many people say that negatively about themselves. So I love to call it our extra sub-Q tissue. A little extra sub-Q tissue. Absolutely. So we have a hyperdermis, which is the last layer, or sub-Q tissue. This is actually what comes in contact with our other organ systems in our body, okay? The sub-Q tissue, it's what let things go in or let things not go through, right? The thickness of our skin actually varies on different parts of our bodies. Okay, the skin is going to be pretty thick where? On the soles of your feet, right, and our heels, right, compared to around our faces and our décolletage or our décolleté, and basically our abdomens, okay? These 3 areas. Now I knew our faces, before I did this, I knew our faces were very fragile, and I knew our décolletage was very fragile. But I thought our faces would be more fragile. Actually, no, our décolletage is more fragile than our face skin. And our abdomen, the skin on our abdomen is actually really thin too. Didn't know that. So be careful, be careful. And if you're an athlete, your skin's going to be stronger and thicker. That means that the elastin and the collagen actually work better for you. And I think that's the reason. I think one reason for that is, is because when you work out so much, you get all that heat from your body. with your heart beating faster and the blood going through and all the heat and the wonderful blood with oxygen and nutrients and stuff, I guess it rejuvenates and refreshes a lot quicker. And you're kind of building up that collagen and elastin. So maybe that's why, but that's awesome. So you know what that means? That means get up, damn it. Get up and work and stand up and walk around, okay? Stand up, walk around, do some things to get that blood flow, to get that flush in your skin, okay? And see how your skin ends up, okay? So everybody has their own type of skin. We should not compare ourselves to anybody else. Please do not, because you are you, thank goodness, and I love you. There's oily skin, you have dry skin, you have mixed skin. There's all different colors, there's all different tones and textures. Everybody has different lines, and we'll learn about those in a little while too. So please be yourself and let somebody else be themselves, and then praise them also, right? So ladies, men, older people. So if your skin loses its elasticity, what happens? What does gravity start doing? Wrinkles, wrinkles. Some people like to say fine lines and wrinkles. Nope, some of them are wrinkles. So part of our skin that helps that. Elastin is a protein forming the main component of connective tissue, okay? Elastin is found mostly in the dermis, which is the second layer, right? Is that what we said? It's in the second layer. And it allows the skin and many, many tissues in our body to resume their shape after you stretch it or after you contract it. Elastin is about 1,000 times more flexible than collagen. The connective tissue called collagen is another very important body protein. It's the basic matrix of our skin, of our cartilage, and of our bones, okay? So these are connective tissues, all right? Collagen actually is what gives you your plumpness, as well as the ability to stretch and fold as your body moves and as you move around, okay? Even the fine hair all over your body is so important. It protects your skin, okay? There are some places that you should just leave some hair. I did laser hair removal a long time ago. No, I do not shave anymore. I do not have to. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh my God, did you see how long that hair was? Because I don't really look anymore, but they're finer and they're thinner. So yes, you can get laser hair removal. We'll talk about more about that during the hair podcast number 6, okay? I'm just saying there's some places that you should leave hair. It protects you, and we'll talk all about that, okay, in the number 6 podcast, all right? Melanin is our naturally occurring skin, hair, and eye pigment, right? Melanocytes are where the melanin stays in, okay? Everybody has the same number of melanocytes, but it's the melanin that makes the difference and makes the colors. If they're clumped together, it gives you freckles and brown spots, okay? And just to let you know, those little blemishes that we have are from the sun, yes, but it's also from your liver. I have one right here. While I'm doing all these podcasts, I'm not going to be wearing makeup. I have mascara on and I have a little bit of cherry chapstick on, but that's about it. I am showing everybody my skin and my hair for these next 6 podcasts. I don't color my hair or do anything like that anymore, not for the last probably 5 or 6 years. And I do wear some powder, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But for these podcasts, I am not going to be wearing any kind of foundation or rouge or anything like that. On every square centimeter of skin, there are more than 1.5 trillion harmless, useful, and necessary bacteria. Some places actually have more than others, like areas that stay moist underneath your arms, in the groin area, some women under here, okay? And we'll talk about sweat in a moment too. But we have bacteria. It protects us. We need that bacteria. Watch my microbiome podcast. It'll show you how much bacteria we actually have in our body, right? Our skin's protectiveness is also enhanced by secretions, okay? Healthy skin should be moist and warm, okay? It should always be soft and kind of dewy, okay? That moistness actually adds a little barrier to protect us from the environment and the things that are in the environment, okay? But to be sweaty all the time, that's a different kind of dewiness. That could mean actually that you have a lot to detox. So I sweat all the time. Okay. What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you not drinking? How are your lymph systems doing? How's your elimination systems doing? Sweatiness, yes. At certain times, absolutely, but not all the time. We'll talk about that. Comment below if you want some more help on that, okay? Sebaceous glands actually helps keeps our hair and our skin a little bit oily and a little bit water resistance just for a little while, okay? These sebaceous glands, they're located right next to your hair shafts. They release a fatty substance called sebum. Sebum is a protective film. The film keeps your skin smooth and actually gives it a system for getting rid of toxins, okay? The skin is impervious to lots of chemicals and lots of elements from the environment because of this oily fluid called sebum, okay? But just know, we'll talk about this next week in Skimples, that these glands are very prone to infections if you're not careful, okay? Sebum is the oily substance that gives your sweat an odor, okay? If the sweat glands actually have a bad smell to them, that means that you let it get stale. You've been eating too much protein or the wrong kind of proteins. You've been eating too much sugar. You might not have been drinking enough good water to clean this stuff out. Okay, so sweat is actually another protection for our health. But if it has a bad odor, if you have too much of it, you got to think about something else. Perspiration is actually a foreign matter that's forced out from the insides, right? From hot flashes, I got those. My feet sweat. Oh my goodness, you'd not believe how many times a day I change my socks when it's chilly out. That's just my kind of menopause. My feet sweat, absolutely. Some people get bright red and you can see their faces dripping, but no, I get hot all over, but my feet sweat, you know? So from hot flashes to release heat, to fevers, to skin interruptions, releasing toxins and heat that entered your body through some kind of input. We'll talk about that also too. Trustful and emotional situations also trigger sweat into action, right? Being jealous, being cruel. Don't your sweat glands start working? You start sweating, okay? This excretion contains chemicals that are toxic to bacteria. So it helps your skin, it helps your body. The pH of our sweat is like an acid, right? Like just like our stomach, 3.5 or 2.5 to 3.5 is the pH of our stomach. Our sweat is also a little bit acidy, right? Acids inhibit the growth of bacteria. It helps us. It is toxic to the bad bacteria that are trying to get in or trying to be on our skin with our good bacteria, right? Another protective barrier, our bacteria and the acid on our skin. Absolutely. The bacteria and the acidosis of our skin from our sweat saves us also from overproductive sebaceous glands. So if you have overproductive glands, that means you could have too much sebum. Or if the sebum doesn't move very fast and it gets thick, and then it combines with dirt, dead blood cells, dead skin cells, or whatever, and it blocks your pores or it blocks your hair follicles, guess what? You're going to get a breakout, right? So it does so much for our skin, but you got to keep it clean. You got to keep it moving, okay? Sweat is wonderful to the body. I just named many, many things that sweat does for us, okay? Make sure that you sweat regularly, okay? It's part of your body's natural defense system, right? Sweating also decreases your blood sugar, okay? Sweating maintains healthy levels of estrogen and other hormones. So you can control your hormones a little bit. You need to get up sometimes. You need to laugh out loud sometimes. Think of all the great hormones that come out when you're happy and smiling, okay? Sweating reduces cortisol levels too. And that's one of the stress hormones. You do not want a lot of stress hormones in your body at any given time because it causes so many problems in your body. It causes havoc on all your organ systems, okay? Stress hormones also increase inflammation throughout your body. And you know what? Your body will know it. You will know it. Your skin will show it, right? Get up. Let your bacteria be good on your skin. Let it sweat a little bit. Let you have some waterproof on your skin. Don't scrub it. Keep it clean though, okay? And as far as exercising and getting that little sweat going, I'm not talking about jamming out all the time. Just walk sometime. Do breathing exercises. You can do that. That's breathing exercises and thinking about your breathing and being right then and there. You know what? That's called meditation. That calms your mind. That stops you from thinking about the hustle and bustle of every day. Better things will happen to you. if you can do that, okay? And to get to work out even better, what I say, laughing out loud. Absolutely. Laugh your butt off. Tighten up those abs, right? What I say, 2 workouts in ones, abs and Kegels. Absolutely. Exercise. It helps you sweat. It helps you decrease toxic stress. It makes you feel more apt to get up the next day. It makes you smile. It makes you feel good about yourself, right? So sweat sweetly, all for the glow of your skin. Okay? Absolutely. So, underarm deodorant, let's talk about that for a minute. Yes, everybody needs a little bit of deodorant. Please wear deodorant, okay? But not an antiperspirant. You need to sweat. You don't want to stop that. Some people sweat a lot. What did we talk about? You need to detox more, right? But you need to let that bacteria breathe. Even just putting deodorant on kind of binds up that bacteria so they can't breathe as well. So that just means you need to wash it off every single day, right? But you need to sweat. Yes, a deodorant, but not an antiperspirant, okay? Clean it off. Keep it rinsed off frequently, okay? You don't always need to use soap. You can rinse off frequently, okay? Change your socks frequently if you sweat a lot because you can get athlete's foot. Remember, bacteria and funguses love it where it's moist. Fix it before it happens. Absolutely. Now we know that the skin is one of the most important organs for our protection because it secretes things. It has acid. There's bacteria that protect us from the outside in, right? And our skin expels morbid toxins that have been accumulated in the surface of your skin from the bottom up. So how are you going to help cover up all those things, okay? Have you ever watched the pimple doctor or the foot doctor? Some of the things that they get out of people. Watch it. Comment below. I'm sure people are like, oh my God, I've seen that show. Yeah, comment below. The pimple doctor, okay? If you have dry, cool, cold, or discolored skin, there could be a sign that there's something going on. I cannot see you over these podcasts. I cannot see you if you text me or call me. Please go see your doctor. There could be something else going on. Let your doctor know what you're doing. Please, please, please. As far as emotions, the skin is actually part of your 6 senses, right? The touch, right? Energy is your 6th sense. Always say 6. I never say 5 anymore. And skin is a very sensitive responder to your emotions. Your skin tells your environment what your brain is thinking. And what you're thinking is very sensitive to emotions. Your facial features and your complexions will change according to the emotions surrounding the situation that you're in, all right? So if you get pissed off or you get embarrassed, you turn pink and then you turn bright red, right? Even your eyes, bright red. Try to step away from that emotion right away. Please, it blocks so many things, okay? Yes, get mad for a second, but then realize this is what's supposed to happen. It's done, okay? If you're cold, you kind of turn blue, right? So get warm. If you're really, really scared, you turn white, right? If you're happy, you glow, right? And everybody knows that you're happy if you're happy. Everybody knows if you're mad, right? If you're mad. Change it to a happy state all the time. Joy, please change it. You would not believe your complexion. Think how you feel and look if you're sick. If you're in love, what does your skin look like? Comment below. If you're in distress, your brain is going to respond by sending signals to your skin. Okay? And sometimes these signals and sometimes the distress that you're in is going to make your skin itch. Okay? You can get rashes when you get upset, absolutely. And sometimes they make your skin erupt into pimples. And what are pimples for? To let out toxins, both physical and emotional toxins. Most people don't think about that part, right? Okay. There have been many, many, many studies, and I read several of them too, that determine the link between emotional stress and specific skin disorders. Okay. The emotions had a triggering role in almost 100% of the situations. Emotional stress, specific skin disorders, 100% of the situations, almost 100%. Okay. So think of hives, think of psoriasis, They even went as far as thinking about when you can't breathe from allergic reactions. Yes, where were you? But what were you thinking? Were you thinking that I'm going to get stung by this bee today and this is what's going to happen and that's what happens? What were you thinking when you got those hives? It might not all be physical. I'm telling you, people, it might not all be physical, okay? Our skin can age prematurely from too much emotional turmoil, unless it's happy all the time, right? Imagine if you worry all the time. Imagine if you think the worst. Yes, you have to know what's going on and plan for it. But imagine if you do that all the time. What if you're sad all the time? What if you're grumpy all the time? What if you're angry all the time? What if you eat poorly? Even stress hormones increase in your body when you eat bad. What if you don't get enough water? What if you're already a little bit dehydrated? And a lot of people are already a little dehydrated, always a little bit dehydrated, okay? These everyday's necessity changes your emotion and then it changes your skin. I promise. Chronic stress actually causes your skin to lose collagen and elastin. Look it up, okay? Look it up. I promise. These two proteins are what actually help your skin look more youthful, right? No wrinkles, right? Your elasticity, emotional turmoil. Stress is the number one mediator for any kind of sickness, mental or physical. 90% of all doctor's visits, and I would say even more than that, are pretty much related to some kind of stress, whether it's stress on your physical body, whether it's stress in your emotions. One causes the other. I'm telling you, your face tells you moment to moment just how healthy that you actually are. I love sitting back and watch people walk by and see what they're actually going through. If you keep putting those stresses in your body and not handling them at that time, because it is what it is, right? Everybody says that. No, 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 it is what it was. So you handle it at that time because that's the past. Even if you're saying it is what it was, guess what? At that time you're thinking about it's already the past, right? Handle it at that time. Don't let it build up. Your poor little body. Oh my goodness. And there's so many different things that you can do, that you can say, that you can practice, that you can share. And that doesn't mean tell everybody. If you got a problem, keep to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Ask God, ask the universe, ask your person up there to help you decrease your stress levels. They will. They will. Your angels will. Okay. And keep track of it. Do some charts. Okay. Whether it's a chart for your weight, or a chart for your menstrual cycle, whether it's a chart for when your skin erupts. Okay. Or when you have tearful emotions at times, keep track of it. So you know what you were doing, but don't just put what you were doing, the time of day, what you just ate. How are you feeling at that time? And put it down. You don't need anybody to see it. This is for you. This is so you know where you started and look what you are now. Look where you are now. You don't have to keep track of it forever, okay? Keep a track of when your skin flares up. And this is what was going on, okay? What were you doing? What were you eating? What were you drinking? How were you standing? Were you sitting? But what were your emotions at that time or just before, okay? Keep track of it. Put down below. Send me a picture of your new journal from learning all this stuff. Absolutely. I'm so happy. Thank you guys so much. It is not true that the sun is the only thing that causes skin cancer. It's also what you put inside your body and what you are deficient in that most determines your susceptibility to skin cancers and to fine lines and wrinkles, basically, okay? We'll talk a lot more about that in suns and tans, and that's going to be in about 2 weeks, okay? Suns, tans, and scars. And that's going to be about 2 weeks, okay? The food that you eat, and I've said this pretty much in every single podcast, the food that you eat definitely affects the way that your skin looks. It affects the way your skin feels. It affects the way your skin breathes. If you eat trans fats and processed foods, the skin is not going to be able to protect itself very well. You're going to get blockages. If you eat something greasy like pizza, can't you feel it coming out of your skin? Can't you feel it coming out of your pores? Don't you feel really greasy, right? If your skin is too oily, it could be from eating too much oil, or it could just be from plain old overeating. Even if it's good food, Even if it's healthy, nutritious food, excess food is going to be converted into fat, right? And that sometimes comes out of your skin as oil, right? Just think about it. I know this is a lot of information, but that's okay. One thing at a time. You can always rewind it. One thing at a time. You can do it. Artificial sweeteners from your diet sodas, from what you're eating. Sometimes you don't even know it's in it. Why? Because it says sugar-free. Bullshit. Bullshit. Excuse my French. Is that French? Excuse my English. What about sugar in your skin, right? Please watch my sugar podcast. There's 4 of them from before, and it ends up with diabetes at the end, okay? Not you end up with diabetes. The last podcast is on diabetes, okay? So when you do your little skin rubs, your skin things, do you do sugar scrubs? Should you eat it? Why should you put it on your skin? We'll talk about that too, okay? Please look up what I tell you, comment below, okay? Let's talk about eating meat. Eating meat leaves your body acidic. Ammonia is the byproduct left in your body when you eat animal products. It doesn't digest, it putrefies. Putrefaction happens as the meat just sits there and rots. And then your unfriendly bacteria are going to flourish and come party there. And then things are going to get stuck. What does your skin look like when that stuff finally starts coming out? What's your bowel movement's going to smell like? What's your gas going to smell like? Remember, acidosis from any reason increases free radical damage. Free radical damage, if you can't keep up with antioxidants and being healthy, that's going to make you age faster. That's going to make you get fine lines and wrinkles faster. That's going to help you get your diseases and illness that you are prone to faster, sooner. Please watch my protein podcast. It tells you how much protein everybody should have in a day. A lot less, than what most people are eating. And with meat also, you have phosphoric acid. That's also found in our soft drinks too. Phosphoric acid actually pulls calcium out of your bony structures. It decreases your bone thickness, its density. Osteoporosis, can you say that? You don't need dairy for that. You don't need milk for that. Please watch my very first podcast on dairy to find out how you can get your calcium, right? Eggs, dairy, wheat, those are the most negative foods to eat because they actually mix with the toxins in our body. Because these kind of foods feed viruses. They feed the bacteria, the bad bacteria. Viruses are never good. Viruses also love heavy metals. How many heavy metals do you think you have in your body? I was very surprised when I did my garlic podcast to find out about that. Different heavy metals and where I got them from. You find out from my water podcast too, how you get some heavy metals in your body. They get stored. They don't usually get out of there. Please watch my garlic podcast and maybe they'll be able to help you a little bit. Gluten. Everybody knows on gluten-free diets, gluten-free, yes, I started being gluten-free too. You know why? Because it's so sticky for your digestive system. It's sticky for your skin, right? And gluten is found in many, many things. It's found in our foods, right? It's found in our cosmetics. Please be careful, read the back of it. It's also found in our medications. It's actually found in stamps and envelopes that you have to look. Did you know that? They have gluten in there. Are you really gluten-free? How many letters have you mailed today? I'm just kidding, right? Thank goodness they have the sticky kind of envelopes and stamps now, right? Check your personal care products. Check the things that you eat. Look and see. Gluten is not good for anybody, right? Gluten is not good for anybody. A little bit of salt too. We'll talk about salt. There's bad salt, okay? It adds inflammation. It adds fluid retention to your body, insides and outsides, okay? Not good for you. I will do a podcast on salt too. Baja Gold, that's the best salt to have. Low sodium chloride in it, okay? And just remember, it's not what you ate yesterday or what you came in contact with yesterday, the toxins and the poisons and stuff like that, because they can be stored for years in your intestines, okay? They can be stored for decades in your liver. They can be stored for generations and be passed on. Certain things can be passed on from your mom to you, okay? So what did your mom eat as a child? What did your mother absorb as a child that she didn't even know about, okay? And this is all before we knew that these things could actually be stored and what actually these things do to our body, okay? We'll talk about that in another podcast too. One thing that hurts your skin that you don't even usually think about is yo-yo dieting. How many diets have you been on? I can't even name how many diets I've been on. I'm not on diets anymore because I've changed what I eat. I don't really think about calories, and we'll talk about that in a little while. I don't really think about calories unless I'm drinking a glass of wine or something. But up and down yo-yo dieting, okay? That's total stress. That's total survival mode for your body, okay? How many have you done? Comment below. Don't be embarrassed because we've grown. We're not going to ever do those again, right? It is so important to eat correctly and not replace the fuel that your body needs to be healthy with stuff that's just going to suffice, with stuff that's just going to make the bad bacteria in your gut grow healthier so you don't ever want anything that's good for you. Deficiencies of any kind, minerals, vitamins, any kind of nutrients that your body needs, makes your organs unbalanced, and that includes your skin. It makes the other ones have to work harder. It makes that organ system have to work harder to try to adapt to the losses that you have because you're not getting it from your food. Ask your nutritionist, please. I'll do a podcast on this too. Ask your nutritionist to make you a meal plan for a week according to what I teach. You don't want these things in there. Make it for me this way. I can get my calcium from this way. I can get my protein from this. Yes, you can. Do the best you can, okay? Do the best that you can with the help from people. Absolutely, because they are here for you. You need something done, guess what? That person's going to all of a sudden show up in your life, okay? Your body will always do the best that it can for you, but the overexertion will ultimately result in a weakened body physically, failing organ systems that are going to be more prone to diseases, more prone to illness, and more prone to aging. So keep it up. Keep your immune systems strong. Then it's all going to work out for you, right? So let's talk about alcohol. We have to talk about alcohol. Yes, alcohol in our skin. You can kind of tell somebody who drinks too much, okay, their skin is kind of blotchy, puffy. They have decreased skin tones. They kind of have a gray color. I'm talking about, three or more drinks every single day. They have a rounded belly, okay? And if they say they don't drink, okay, what are you storing in there? What are you eating? And a lot of it is too much protein, right? Please watch my protein podcast. It'll explain it to you, okay? Too many extra calories of anything, and I don't care if it's food or drinks, it's still calories. These are going to be stored. And anything that is stored for too long could become a toxin to your body, okay? It could become a toxin. So 3 or more drinks of alcohol every single day is not good for your body. It's a lot of calories that you have to try to burn up, okay? And don't get drunk every single night and go running the next day. That's not good for you. Alcohol is a toxin to your body. I'm not saying don't drink. I will never ever say that. But maybe you need to cut down a little bit. What is your skin telling you? What is your story with your skin? Okay. And of course, we're going to talk about cigarettes. There's so many chemicals, so many thousands of different chemicals that enter your body every freaking place that it can when you're smoking a cigarette or somebody's smoking around you, okay? Nicotine narrows or constricts, which makes it smaller, your blood vessels. That prevents oxygen from getting to your whole body. It prevents it from getting to your body. It stops your body from getting the bad stuff going out because you don't have that many red blood cells going through. You don't have any white blood cells going through there because your blood vessels are so closed up from the nicotine, okay? Caffeine does that too. A cup of coffee in the morning to warm you up, it constricts your blood vessels in the periphery, which is your extremities, to get the blood here. And then you're warmer, but then you get colder, right? Nicotine and whatever else comes out of those cigarettes puts a coating on your skin. How many yellow houses have you been to see the yellow walls, yellow clothes, yellow cars, etc.? Yellow skin, yellow fingernails where they hold the cigarettes. You are 3 or 4 times more likely to get premature aging and wrinkles if you smoke. And a smoker's wrinkles, Juvederm is not going to help you unless you stop smoking. And then just Juvederm only lasts for a couple of years, okay? But smoking, you can stop smoking. And I wish you so much love and luck with that, okay? And if you do quit smoking, you're going to see results within a couple months just on your face alone. You're going to be glowing. You're going to be so happy. The food is going to taste better. And I know people have told you all this before. Do it for the skin. Do it for the love of your skin. Quit smoking. Sending you love. There's so much help out there. Comment below and I'll send you some more help for quitting smoking if you'd like to. Absolutely. Sleeping. If you don't sleep right, your skin's going to show it. And you can tell people who have not had enough skin. You can tell somebody who's not have enough sleep for any reason, for whatever reason it is, you know. A sleep deprived person is of course going to have dark circles under their eyes, okay? They're going to have uneven skin tones, okay? And if it's chronic not being able to sleep, when they're going to walk slower, they're going to have poor posture, you know, kind of slouch. They're going to be kind of blah. They're always going to have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in their hand or something. You got to try to sleep well. That's one definite time that you can say, it's time to myself. Because 15 minutes before you go to bed, when you're laying in bed saying your prayers or whatever you do, that could be your time of meditation. That can be time to stop thinking about the daily things, right? And then 15 minutes before you wake up, before you step out of bed, do that again. Say how your day is going to be beautiful, okay? Having a good night's sleep on most nights is going to help you relax. It's going to help you rejuvenate and repair because that's when your body does that. But if you sleep good, oh my goodness, your body's going to be so happy, okay? If you sleep well, it's also going to combat your stress. It's going to decrease those hormone levels while you rest. And then your body's better able to protect itself, okay? And if you want to take a nap on those days off, absolutely. 20, 30 minutes, absolutely. After you eat a healthy lunch or something, go lay down for a minute, re-stimulate, rejuvenate yourself, right? You also have to sleep on a proper pillow. They have back sleeping pillows. They have side sleeping pillows. You should also be using a silk pillowcase too, so there's less friction on your face. Sleep with your head elevated a little bit too, so fluid doesn't settle, okay? You'll feel better when you sleep well, when you get the right amount of time. Your skin and face are going to show it if you sleep in the right position too. So just think of your spine always being straight. If you sleep on your side, your pillow should be a little bit thicker so your spine is straight. If you sleep on your back, make sure it goes down to where your scapulas are, which is your shoulder blades, because that's actually where your cervical spine ends. Support your whole neck and head when you sleep, okay? Your face is going to show it, okay? Watch my skincare podcast in 4 weeks or so, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that too, okay? So our environment affects our skin 100%, 200%. Genetics, 3 to 10%. That's it. Now we know that most skin damage is secondary to cellular inflammation, too much sugar, too many bad fats, undigested material stored in your digestive system, stored in your liver, stored in your sub-Q tissue, right? Stored in your lymph system because it can't get out. Stored in your kidney, it's kidney stones. Stored in your gallbladder is gallstones. What else can you think of, okay? Also from too many stress hormones in your system messes up your skin. Acute and chronic doesn't matter. You'll see skin changes, but you can always change them back, right? There's over 175 diseases that have to do with hormones. Can you change those around? Absolutely. I'm not talking about taking a pill either, okay? Most of the hormones you can control, we can control. All these enablers from within our environments, that includes your prescription drugs, over the counter, street drugs, it doesn't matter. They can all change your skin. Your face makes its first and second impressions on somebody. Absolutely. Okay. One of the most important ingredients for a healthy, happy body, and I'm going to say this many, many times, and I've said it in many podcasts, is the right amount of good fluid on board all the time. You should never be dehydrated. Most people are dehydrated. Most people. If you're thirsty, you're already a little bit dehydrated. If you can tint your skin up, you're way dehydrated. If it shows up in your lab test, holy shit, you better be careful on what did you do, and you better not do that again. You can change things around, right? You should never be dehydrated, please. Please watch my water podcast. I don't know how many months ago I did, but there's like 4 water podcasts. I go over many different things, okay? And just to let you know, like I said, caffeine is actually the worst thing that you can have in the morning because it makes you dehydrated. You get dehydrated at night because you're not drinking fluids, right? Because you're sleeping. Well, caffeine is actually a diuretic. That means it makes you pee. right? Caffeine's going to take the water out of your bodies, and you don't even have that much because you've been sleeping all night. The first thing you have in the morning is a drink of water. And I will put Blue Summit down there before. That's where I get my distilled glass water bottles delivered to my home. Yes, the first thing you should have is a glass of water. And Monica, that does not mean a glass of tap water. Please do not drink tap water, people. Please do not drink tap water. I love you, Monica. Many doctors, many caretakers believe that age has nothing to do with looking old. So do I. Your smiles, your smile lines, your wrinkles, your frowns, they could actually mean that something completely different is going on, that there's something going on with inside your body, okay? Your eyes especially, they're one of the first things to show signs of aging, okay? You get dark circles, you get fine lines, you get wrinkles, okay? Having dark circles and shallow eyes could also mean that there's other things, okay? It could also mean that you're dehydrated and that your kidneys aren't happy. And if your kidneys aren't happy, that means your liver's probably not happy either because they work together, okay? Please go see your doctor. This is not normal. If you haven't slept well in a week or so and you have dark circles, okay. But if it's chronic dark circles and there's other things going on, please don't ignore it. Go see your doctor, okay? I'll be doing a podcast next week on skimples, which is pimples, okay? And we're actually going to talk a little bit more about what these lines on your face could mean. It doesn't mean these because I'm smiling all the time. It could mean something else. It doesn't mean these that I'm getting old. No, it could mean something else. It all starts from the inside out. It starts with your elimination systems. So how old are you? How old do you look? Do you think that you can change it around and look younger without $500 creams and needles in your face and surgeries? Heck yes, you can. And I'm going to show you how to do it from the outside in and the inside out, okay? Instead of just doing it one way. And absolutely yes, you always have a third chance to make a lasting impression. Believe it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening today. Remember to love, like, subscribe, and share. My name is Kathy. I'm Lady Boss Lady. Love, learn, and take control. And yes, you can. Next week, we'll talk about skimples and eruptions and things that we can do for our face. Okay? Remember to get all those teenagers listening to the podcast next week. Thank you so much. I love you. Mwah.